Okay, welcome everybody. It is a new month. So my name is Michael Camo. I'm Director of Content for Keith Live. I'm here with Scott Redler, and we are here to talk about what to watch in March. I know Scott's in a very good mood today. Usually he can get a little groggy on Friday afternoons, but I think he's been making money, so he's in a good mood today. We have gold breaking out, AMD breaking out. So Scott,
wait a second, the disclosures don't look right.
The positions?
Whereas NVIDIA should be on there. A bunch more things on there.
Oh, okay, all right. I will update it in 1 second. So Scott, what are you seeing so far this month?
So far, we're seeing the exact same kind of trend, right? All of a sudden, as soon as people think we can get a 1 to 2 to 5% correction, and the bears start getting a little bit like, oh wow, it's going to happen, something ignites the next leg of the active bull rally in the SPYs. A few weeks ago, obviously, it's led differently. So let's just do real quickly.
Reddit plans, IPO price range.
Yes, I'm just showing the VTF for a second, so we have the accurate positions up. So this is real time what Scott owns. So you see, Scott's not just making it up. He's in Amazon, he's in NVIDIA, everything. So Scott, so tell us what you're seeing.
What I'm seeing is 1 week ago, we talked about 5, 10, 13, and then you had a control pullback to what? The 8-day moving average. Mike, how many times have you put on the social media universe the 8 and 21-day moving average book?
7,412 times so far.
Oh, really? That's it? I thought it was like 8,110.
Yeah, we are up that high.
Well, anyway, we came in, retested it, and all of a sudden, boom, here we are at another new all-time high. So a lot of traders have been fighting the trend. They're definitely upset. There are definitely people caught in the pain trade, but I have to say that most on the Alpha team or in Red All Access, we've been rotating. We rotated from, being really involved with the mega cap tech to 2 weeks ago, the XBI putting on a huge call spread, then the IWM putting on another call spread, putting on some individual, Russell type names, as well as, obviously AI semis that we played very well after, NVIDIA. And then all of a sudden, boom, yesterday, AMD proved that some stocks could make higher highs. And when you're a trader, you look for clues to see what stocks can make higher highs. And look at this beautiful, beautiful breakout in AMD. Okay, so this was a clue that these names are not done.
Okay, so we're still getting the usual chorus of bears saying, we've gone too far. We're up too many weeks in a row. Too many people are bullish. Yada, 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 yada. But we know you like to watch the levels. So where is the danger zone?
We held, wasn't it like you go back to the SPYs, like there was spots. The SPY spot was right here, and we held it and took off. Look at the Qs. The Q spot was the gap. Everything held that post NVIDIA excitement gap. When gaps hold, typically you trade in the same direction of that gap, and the SPYs, the Qs, the S&P cash all held it. And while they were digesting, you had a fantastic action in something like the XBI, which looks really good actually. Just engulfed all of yesterday. Looks like it's ready to go. The IWM, which went up when rates were going down, believe it or not. And now this looks like, you want to put up a weekly chart. It's a little easier to see where it's going. Looks like this weekly chart in the IWM is heading towards, 212. Everyone thought it would be yesterday, but they had to throw a little bit of a curveball. It can't make it that easy. So, and then you had the crypto names. The crypto names also helped with the excitement. So lots of different areas. And now everyone's talking about gold breaking out. And there's just a lot to do if you wake up early, if you have your routine, if you're prepared with multiple game plans. And then once the market starts to move and confirms one of them, you go fast without opinions.
Okay, so Scott, do you think IWM, like what are the odds you're placing that let's say it gets to 212-ish?
80%.
80%.
80% within the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll see 212.
Okay, everybody can put IWM on your radar. So Scott, why don't we talk about gold?
500 push-ups. We like the 500 push-up bet.
Is that a 500 push-up call?
That's a 500. You know what? Let's go in the comments. See who will take the bet against me. Go in the comments. I'm betting 500 push-ups that within 6 weeks we see 212. Who wants to take the other side of that bet and go 500 push-ups against me?
Okay, so to be clear, the rules are, so if IWM does not go over 212, you have to do 500 push-ups?
In 6 weeks. I'm giving it 6 weeks.
Okay. We need an exact date, Scott, because we don't, this isn't going to be like a presidential election. By April 15th.
6 weeks. By April 15th, the IWM will kiss 212 or go above it. I'll bet you 500 push-ups. If it doesn't happen by then, I'll do 500 push-ups. Who wants to take the other side of that bet? Anybody?
How many sets would it take you to do 500, Scott?
It would probably take me about 30 minutes.
Ah, pretty good. Pretty impressive.
With a little rest here and there. Yeah.
So
maybe
who wants to take the other side of Scott's bet? Let us know in the comments. IWM 212 is the line. So Scott, why don't we move on to gold, because it seems like you've been waiting for gold to finally wake up, show some life, and it's we have this big giant green bar today. It looks like it's hitting up resistance up there. So what's the story here?
This goes with the whole superstitious traders have, right? I think I bought GLD calls here out a month, it didn't work. I bought GLD calls in here out a month, it didn't work. And then right in here, I'm like, it looks like it's ready to go. I'm like, I'm not buying GLD calls. You know what I'm going to buy? I bought NUGT calls because I'm like, you know what? If gold goes, the miner's going to go. The gods don't want me to be in GLD right now. I'll go in NUGT. And if you look at NGGT, it's having a little bit of a day. But the options that I bought at 70, 80 cents are almost up 100% with this. And last time gold tried to go, this went to 37. So I went with, Nugget, which is a leveraged miner, ETF. So that's what I went with. But overall, gold looks really good. I know it's a power play of ours. Some power play guys were getting a little tired. Like, oh, why isn't it going yet? Why isn't it going yet? I'm like, give it time. That's the daily. You go to the weekly chart. The weekly chart looks absolutely tremendous now. Like, it held this upper quadrant. Big igniting bar on the weekly. I might have to take some GLDs home, to be honest. 193, 193, 194. It's kissing it. And it got up here too far, too fast, sideways above the moving averages. Then you go to your monthly chart, which is the cup and handle pattern. Look at that. You could go to Google, say, hey, Google, give me a cup and handle pattern. It'll show you this. And this is the GLD right now, which is one of the most reliable bullish accumulation patterns in the history. I didn't create it. Willie O'Neill, get how to make money in stocks. And it goes over in history, the cup and handle pattern and what it yields to. And oh my God, this looks friggin' tremendous. I'm gonna have to buy some of this too.
Okay, so gold has broken many hearts, but maybe this time will be different. But yeah, the pattern does look beautiful. I'm looking at it myself.
Holy cow! Yeah.
Okay.
Like, look at this bullish engulfing candle. It did that sideways, and it looks like it's ready to go. Got to be in gold. It's following crypto. We said usually crypto leads gold a little bit because crypto is a little bit faster, and then gold takes a little time. It's like generation. I don't even know what the generation XZ, whatever, versus the baby boomers. Hey, you want to see a baby boomer? Come here, Phil. This is a baby boomer. Come here. You got a little gray hair. Come down a little bit.
I'm not sure. I'm not.
No, you're not. You're Generation X. All right. I just look a little bit better. No, okay. I go in the ice barrel 750 times. I don't think he's ever been in the ice barrel.
Okay. So let's talk about the big sector, the semis, SMH, have been bonkers since the February was huge. They're leading again today. The semis now the number one ETF in the market today. Like, does this surprise you? How far? Because they were up huge last year and now they're up huge again this year. Does this surprise you?
It doesn't. Well, everyone for that whole channel, the video was in. Everyone was talking about it every time they announced earnings and it didn't go. Their PE was going lower because they kept crushing the street. So everyone, a lot of AI is in the infancy. This isn't the hype portion of it. It's something that we're going to live with for a long time. You and I, my son Chase, he's a freshman in high school. Like, they're using it to do their homework. I use it, and I'm an old dog. But anyway, so NVIDIA was the lead dog, and then you have a group of stocks. There's probably more than 5 of them. And PS, once NVIDIA reported, there was a trade, and then the question was, would the semis be able to make higher highs? So if we go back to, see, I'm getting pretty good at this. The chart, AMD, which didn't go when NVIDIA reported, made a big breakout yesterday. So right there, that said, hey, this group to me is not done. Before that, NVIDIA did it, right? NVIDIA had this huge channel to start the year. This was in our 2024 report. It's been on the VTF and the Alpha team every day. I'm trying to approach it, make money, do all these things. First move, and then it reported numbers, right? NVIDIA reported numbers. Remember, we talked about, I think you and I talked about it here. First of all, we talked about the potential of NVIDIA on our first little powwow that you and I had together. And then PS, it broke above 746, gave us a trade, went sideways and digested like a big meal. You don't need a big meal. You got to take a nap and digest. Well, NVIDIA did that for a little bit. And then yesterday I got back long the stock. I put on a call spread for next week. And if AMD could make a new move high, why can't NVIDIA? NVIDIA kind of kissed this 823. And above the 806, above the 799, above this. And to me, I could see this easily getting above 823 next week. I have a call spread on, I have stock on. I'll probably take it overnight. We'll see how we close, but NVIDIA looks awesome. And then AVGO, I've been putting it in regular all access. I've had the chart up every single week. And then if you look at AVGO, boom, right? Again, know your chart patterns. Hit 1295, came in, red dog reversal, held this pro gap. Remember, like you buy it long verse 1280, and then someone to play for momentum when it gets in motion. Well, boom, look at that motion right there. So, traders can make a lot of money when stocks are making higher highs, higher lows. Get in a pattern and then go. And that's why we use a tier system.
Yeah, and guys, so I think what people should pay attention to what Scott said about, the expectations rising, the estimates rising. I just wanted to bring up on the screen. So this is like NVIDIA revenue estimates. And in plain, there's a lot of stuff on the screen, but in plain English, over the last 7 months, estimates have doubled. And that's played a big part in it. So Scott, do you think the semis, I know you're looking at Avago, ARM, NVIDIA, AMD. Do you think they need a break now?
What do you mean?
Do they need to digest, or
they just digested last week and now they're in motion again? So, you go to here, this digestion, this is digestion right here. Digestion. Make a low, gap up, go sideways, boom. Here's your bull flag digestion. NVIDIA, same thing. Okay, go to 823, go sideways, build a flag, digestion. That's what this week was. And now it looks like maybe a tiny bit more it can go. AMD, digestion, right? This was a channel, wasn't a flag. This took time. You had actually a bunch of things. You had a channel and then a flag within the channel that gave you a good entry here, and there you go. So right now, the semis are in motion after digesting. The question is, will they all go, or is just a select few? And at this point, AMD led the way. Avago followed suit. NVIDIA's in motion. And then everyone's like, what about SMCI? Well, SMCI, the high, I could see it getting there. SMCI looks fine. It just, SMCI is loose, wide, takes a lot of brain power. And for me, I have so much going on that I'm not in this one. AMD and NVIDIA were enough. So again, when in my note and with the Alpha team, I talk about the group and I give, ways to approach it 5-6 ways. I'm not going to be in all 5-6 ways. I could be in 1 or 2 and be in a bunch of other things. And also, the guys from Fox Business called me like, hey, you want to come on Fox Business? I'm like, it's Friday. I got to go shave and get my shirt and my tie. I'm like, it's been a week. No Fox Business for me. I'll be on Wednesday. But anyway, this seems like it's in motion. It's just, how much traction can each one of these names get?
Okay, all right, let's talk a little bit more. You've been discussing the theme of rotation, how it seems like things are falling apart and then something else takes the lead. But you've also been active in energy. So Oxy, OXY, it came into power plays on January 22nd at 56.57. So that's been that's been a strong name for you. What are you seeing in energy now? Do you think there's more room up for upside there?
It seems like every time, one group gets tired, another goes, and Oxy looks like it just got above this downtrend. So yeah, it's just not a fast moving sector. Not everything's going to be NVIDIA or AMD or SMCI or anything. So this looks like you could buy it. The last few times I'm like, oh, you could be long Oxy versus this or Oxy versus that. You just can't add to it. Or the XLE. I'm in the XLE. You know, the XLE looks like, you know, it's starting to get better. You look at the weekly chart of the XLE just to show you how long it's been here. You know, the XLE looks like it just got above this this channel. So this was 2022. We're in 2024. So maybe there's room up towards the upper end of this channel, and then at some point it can go. Oil got above 80. So yeah, some money could go there. It's just not exciting. It's not an over focus. You can't overtrade it. It's a position. In energy, it's like you want to buy versus a level and then just let it work. And if it doesn't hold that level, you get away from it.
Okay, so speaking of, you know, fast-moving things, why don't we talk a little bit about crypto? Because, you know, crypto is just like raging higher. So just a random question before we actually get to the charts. Are you trading the Bitcoin ETFs, or are you just like sticking with Bitcoin and individual Bitcoin stocks?
You know, to be honest, it all depends on the day. So when they came out the ETF for BlackRock and all those guys, they sold the news. At that point, I wasn't really in anything equity-wise, stock market-wise with T3. That happened right here. So this was your red dog reversal sell right there. Boom, boom, boom. They said they're selling the news. Sold the news. Red dog reversal traded above and failed. Lost the 8-day. Lost the 21-day. So if you sold it well down here, you had a small red dog reversal. I remember we were having an open house, and during that open house, I went and I bought the BlackRock. Hold on, the BlackRock ETF here. Sold it, and then I bought it again. What was it? IBIT. I'm not going to put that up right now. And then wrote it out pretty well. Then everyone who was bearish was calling for a double top at 49. It didn't happen. And then we went sideways again, another channel. So last week, right around this time, I bought Mara calls. And then earlier this week, I bought BITO calls. And it was one of my biggest winners. So anyway, remember the 8-day moving average? It's a little bit stretched. You know, it followed it here, went sideways. So I could see with a little bit of sideways action, you go to the weekly chart. I think in our report, I said by 2025 it could hit 100,000. Well, it seems like the market's saying it's going to happen sooner than that. Just know your time frame. Remember, 55.63 was one of the targets, and we're through it. So whenever something gets through the target, you look at your next point of reference. The next point of reference for Bitcoin on the weekly chart is at 69,000, which I do think it gets there. Where if it gets there straight, probably then pauses, and then once it gets above it, I don't know. Nothing to your left. Seems like 100,000 plus could happen sooner than I thought. I thought 2025, but who cares? When things happen faster, you just make money faster, and then you just usually don't own enough.
Okay, so you're coming off what looks like a good week. Are you like? So what were you doing today? Like I saw like you flattened out an AMD, Meta, some others. How are you like? What's your thinking basically going into next week?
What was I doing? Well, yesterday, first of all, if you remember here, I think we were talking, and I had a few extra beverages. On AMD, on that Friday, I was buying the 185 calls. So I bought the dip. And then I thought those calls were going to be a zero. So what I did was yesterday, when it went through 185 to 187, those calls were like nothing. I sold them for over 100%. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going with the stock, because now the stock turned on. I actually punched up the 190s a bunch of times. It was $5. I'm like, I'm not going to spend $5 for the 190s. And meanwhile, you know, it's 212 today. That was been 100%. So anyway, I added to it as a big winner. And then today, right around 201, I sold it. Chances are it goes higher, but it's a little extended. I just kind of wanted to book the trade and not have 20 positions just in case. So that was a great trade. But the key to this was when this took this out and held it, I started adding to my NVIDIA calls for next week, because I'm like, if AMD could make a new high and get a new level, I think NVIDIA could follow. So not only did I add calls for next week, which are working out, I also added to the stock. And yesterday's rebalance was nuts, right? If you're a real trader, you saw they brought that down like $9, and I bought it in the hole. Made my morning easy. NVIDIA made my morning easy because I was up late last night at the, you know, Chase. You guys have been watching. Thank you very much. You know, Milburn's won the semifinals in states in basketball. We have the finals tomorrow at 1 o'clock. But anyway, it was nice to wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, look at that!" You know, NVIDIA is back above 800. So it was a nice overnight. And then the calls, I turned some into a call spread just to fund it. So meaning, here, want to put the alpha team back on for a sec?
Sure.
I'll show you what I did. So just to give you my thinking.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay.
So I'm long the stock, and I'm still long the stock, and I'm probably gonna take it overnight. So if you look on the alpha team, you'll see I'm in. I bought yesterday. I bought the NVIDIA 825s and the 815s.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so thinking that if we get above 823, why can't it get to 850? So today it was up $15. So I sold the 840s for like $7 to bring my average cost. I think I sold the 840s for what I bought the 815s for. So I have a free play and I'm in the stock. So I do think at some point next week this gets above there. So that was a really good play. So that was what I did. As far as Meta, this morning in the 630 club for the world, I said, hey, I think Meta can get above 494 and see 500 plus. I just wanted a day trade there. Some things I want to day trade, some things I want to stick with. And if you look real quickly at Meta, there you go. Meta had a nice trade and it probably goes a lot higher. I was like 494, 491. That was a nice trade. So I'm allowed to day trade sometimes. You're like, right, you're a day trader also? I'm like, yeah. Well, the market's open during the day. I like to make cash flow, and I don't want to just sit in everything just in case, especially when, things could come in at certain times. I want to book money. So this was just, so that's why if you go back to it's a good thing for the alpha team. It's people like, I see positions on for weeks. How do I know what you're doing? You can see Meta's off, but you could go. You'll see it wasn't overnight. I bought it today and I sold it today. You can see the buys. Buy, then sell, bought the dip, sell, done. I was done with it at 501. It's a day trade. The alpha team got to see me buy it, trade it, get out of it. Boom, good money. So that was that. But Amazon, I'm more committed to. I've been in that trade since earnings. I'm in options, I'm in stock. So whenever I'm in options and stock, that means my idea also is in motion. So if we look at Amazon to me, looks like it's on its way back to all-time highs. Got a little lethargic, just like the market, but what did it do? It held the 8-day, triggered, went higher. You look at the I've showed you guys the weekly chart a few times here even, and this looks to me like it's on its way back. Stock market's at all-time highs. This isn't. This is growth. This has AI. Jeff just sold his 50 million shares. This to me looks like it's on its way to at least 187. So this is your weekly chart, and you can see different price points at different points. I do the weekly and the dailies, and this to me is going. So I'm committed to this. Meta, I wasn't committed to. I just wanted to day trade this. I'm holding into next week's stock and options.
Okay, Scott, can you go over ON? I know that's been, probably it's been the best name in power plays maybe ever with the options trade.
No, not ever. Come on.
The last piece was like 250, 300%, something like that, but it's definitely
the
up
options.
there.
Yeah, the options.
Yeah.
We did both. Okay. It also, I earned a friend. Anyway, so ON. Okay. We right here had a nice descending trend line. It just felt like it was ready to go. I put on $30 calls and I bought the stock. And if you guys remember, I tweeted at Portnoy. We were in a bit of a fight, not because I wanted to give him a winner, but I was upset that he came back to the stock market after leaving the stock market. And a lot of people were hurt. And he's like, oh, it's not worth it anymore. Gambling's back on, sporting games. I'm going to do what I do. And he does it very well. He's a very good gambler. He gave to small businesses. But he came to the stock market when we did nothing but go up. And then after a year of going down, he's like, this is too tough. And a lot of people got hurt. And that's why I was pissed. It's fine. So I gave him this play. These are the on clouds. These are one pair of sneakers, probably my fifth pair that gives me 1.5 inches because I'm only like 5'10" and a half or 5'11". And anyway, so I said, hey, you want to do something for your day trading global, whatever he calls the clients? And then all of a sudden the next day, he retweeted me and said, this is your reputational play. I put $1 million in. It's like, okay. And then I think, Mike, you gave him the fists. We went like this. And then from there, it went from 28 to here. I tweeted, I said, hey, I use a tier system. I'm strategic. I'm not a gambler. The stock market's not a casino. I'm taking half off. And then I also took off most of the options. And into this, I got rid of the $30 calls for as high as 4 from $1.25. Took my risk off. I bought the 33s to have still involvement, but reduced the risk, and now it's up to here. Earnings aren't out till the 12th. I would think today it's not a big deal. Everyone's like, Red Dog, it's underperforming today. Look where the 8 days probably creates another little bull flag. Seems to me like it's on its way towards 37-ish, and then we'll figure out what options we want to do or be in. You go to the weekly chart here. Listen, I'm not a fundamental guy, but I see them everywhere. Here's 37. It was an IPO. I think it's going to perform, but we'll revisit then. It was a great trade. I'm glad he did it. He's been happy about it. And I might reach out to him and tell him to give my son Chase a shout out in Milburn basketball because we're playing in the finals tomorrow. And all of those guys, the kids glorify him and glorify gambling and glorify action. And to me, I hate gambling. I hate casinos. I like calculated plays. I like high percentage situations. I like to control my risk. And, so we're kind of a little bit the opposites. But he does help the greater good, and I try to do that also. But maybe I'll reach out to him and tell him to give Milburn a shout out, and that would be pretty funny because they were worried that, he didn't like the Red Dog at a point because I called him out, but I think he respected it because he knows, I think he didn't do the right thing. He left in 2021 at the bear market bottom, and I just want to make sure people, are a little strategic with the plan. Anyway, that's that. Sorry to talk a little bit more, but that was a little complicated month. Glad it worked out.
Yeah. So Scott, it seems like you actually put your Peter Lynch hat on a little bit there.
I did. Yeah.
Did you ever read, Scott? Did you ever read One Up on Wall Street?
Which one?
It's called One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch.
I've seen the summary and I've listened to it in an ebook for 15 minutes. It was condensed. I have this app called Headway. I feel like anyone who's listening, download Headway. It takes every major book out there and consolidates into a 15-minute audio, and I usually listen to it. I'm in my sauna twice a day. One time I'm listening to Rocky and all these motivational things, and one time I listen to 15-minute audio books. And I love that Peter Lynch. Listen, if you love the product, that means somebody else does. That means earnings are going higher, and usually the stock should be in a good trend, right? That's his shtick.
Okay, guys. All right, we have to let Scott go. Scott has to go. He has 22 minutes to make more money before the end of the day. But guys, if you want to talk about,
you could do this.
No, go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
Guys are like really happy with we did some small stocks too this week, and people are like, how'd you uncover JMAI or IA? Whatever. I didn't even know the symbols. I'm like, because I used to play it back in the day, and if you remember, chart's a chart. You go to the JM. Some little guys follow the rules too. There's a lot of JMIAs right there. JMIA. Like bull flag, right? Again, every Saturday I come out with, take a little cheat sheet, learn your candlesticks, your chart patterns, and your moving averages. And look at this big bar. That's your flagpole. Here's your flag into the 8-day. Buy tier 1, add tier 2, sell some, buy some back. And look where this is. I sold it today. But, nice. It's a nice piece of business. So when something shows itself and you stay with it, it can go. And it doesn't have to always be the name but when names start acting well, they come into the go-to list. And just as far as Palantir, this also is a decent trade, but I think people are getting a little worried that there's talk. That's all it is talk that it's supposed to be added to the S&P. I don't know if it will or if it won't, but that's probably why I was up a little bit besides the big earnings and the big pro earnings gap. But so listen after the close. I'm going to switch just to options. So if it is added, we'll get paid. If not, that's why I'm in that. Oh, one more little guy. SoFi. Nice little bull flag. Doesn't look like a bull flag. It's not in a rip-roaring sector, but little bull flag. I'm long versus the 8. It gets above 918. I think it continues. So those are 3 little tidbits.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, guys, if you want to get Scott's free newsletter on Monday morning, go to t3live.com/show. The link is also in the description below. And you get actual real insights from Scott's paid newsletter. We've covered NVIDIA, MSOS, a whole bunch of other winners this year. So again, it's free on Monday. All you have to go to is t3live.com/show, and the link is down in the description below. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, the link is down below. And of course, we're going to give a shout out to our good friend He says, have a great weekend, Mike and Scott. So guys, thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next Friday afternoon. And yes, good luck to Milburn. Let's send all of our positive energy to Milburn.
You want to see a quick video?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I could bring it up here. Hold on.
Is it on your Twitter?
Is it on my Twitter? No, I think it's in here. Hold on. I think it's I uploaded it real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. This was one here. Let's see. I'm like. Anyway, I'm not good at this. All right, forget it. How do we get the video? Let's do a quick video. We go to open with. No. Anyway, I'll put it on Twitter. You guys can take a look. It shows high school basketball having a sick time, and that's what high school basketball and high school youth sports is all about. It's a dress rehearsal for life. It's kids learning discipline, learning routine, learning teamwork, having friends, trusting each other, leaders leading, everyone playing a part, just like in business. So to me, youth sports teaches a little bit about what business is like down the road. So I love it. And I'm a coach, and it's fun at times. And just enjoy the journey and do things that, make you smile. Otherwise, then life isn't as good as it should be. Smiling is good. Glass half full, right? This is just water. Half full is, it could be half full or it could be half empty. Where are you? Half full or half empty? I'm usually half full. Later, guys. We'll see you next week.
Okay, guys, again, make sure you go to t3live.com/show to get Scott's free newsletter on Monday morning. You get it's 100% free. You get free trading insights from Scott. Have an awesome weekend. Great seeing you guys. Take care.